African Americans working in my line of duty. I serve low-income citizens who are mainly single mothers and African American. And there are a lot of misconceptions that go on in society with that group of people. And I think that it stems from not actually knowing what the actual struggle is. I am here today to attest to that fact, that there is indeed a struggle and that we can overcome that struggle together. And my main focus is independence in the Black community and also asset building among my people.
I'm C L BRYANT, and I'm so happy to be here with the rest of the panelists here. I am a preacher, filmmaker, and of course an activist around the country. Empowerment is a very important business in the Black community, as Janine has attested to. There is a growing feeling of powerlessness. And the one thing that I would like to address today, and I want to get your opinions on it, is this idea that this is happening to me because I'm Black. I think that there is a bridge that we can in fact build from a place that can become a dungeon if we allow it to be. Because if every situation we face happens because we're Black, then there is no escape from our situation, because we'll never escape our Blackness. So we have to get past that idea, and that is one way I think that we can empower ourselves if we break out of a certain mindset.
Hi, my name is Lakia. I believe I am the youngest person on this panel, and that right there speaks a lot. We don't have a lot of young people that are standing up for our Black community, and as the first gentleman said, we're the ones that we're next in line to take over. So my passion is really reaching young people and getting them to see that your color has nothing to do with your abilities of what you can do. I was just sharing with Ms. Judge that, you know, though we're not in slavery physically, we as Black people have enslaved ourselves in a mindset that because I'm Black, I can't do this. Because I'm Black, they say this, that, and the third about us. But my passion is to get you to realize that you're more than just the color of your skin. There's more inside of you. You have potential, and that no one, anybody has the power to tell you that you're limited to the skin color.
My name is Bonnie Judge, and I'm thankful to be here today. It's been a journey for me in my life, and one of the things that I'm most proud of, as Kim Bell said, is that I am a St. John Islander, which means that I came from the country. You know, I lived many places, have been in many places because I was a military brat. But one of the things that I'm thankful for is that I had teachers. I had a grandmother who, after my mother was murdered when I was 13 and I moved back here, that she instilled values. She gave me as much as she could. Although she didn't go to college and she didn't have different things, she motivated me to be positive. I had instructors that pushed me in classes that I did not want to do. And I'm thankful because I am here today, not because I got here alone. It's because of the motivation of teachers and people who believed in me and looked at me and said, you're so much more than what you see today. And so I'm thankful that I can give back to young girls and to women who struggle with different things. And I just feel that I have that power, that empowerment, that if I made it and if someone had exposed me, which is so important in today's world, to be exposed. Our children need to be exposed. Without the exposure, they would never grow. And so with the exposure that I had, I am able to do more things, and I'm able to help young ladies to be exposed to more ideas and to believe in themselves and to reach further than I do. So thank you so much for allowing me to be here, part of the panel.
Thank you, panel members. All right, our first question and solution. Marriage among families and children is an extremely powerful factor in promoting economic self-sufficiency. The ability of families to support themselves above poverty without reliance on government means-tested welfare and aid. A second major problem is the means-tested welfare system actively penalizes low-income parents who do marry. All means-tested welfare programs are designed so that a family's benefits are reduced as earnings rise. The solutions I would like you to consider: reform the earned income tax credit. And secondly, policymakers should reduce welfare's anti-marriage penalties incrementally. Your thoughts? Ms. Vizzini.
Yes, I need for you to clarify that question. I'm sorry, I need for you to actually clarify what you mean when you said that penalties.
All right, clarification. Temporary assistance to needy families is a program that allows families to receive funds to supplement their needs. However, the bill was written for married couples, and currently the funds are being provided to single female and young children, age for dependent children. What we're saying is that if a middle income family, if a couple decided to get married today, and the federal government said, well, since you're getting married, we're going to tax you 20% more than we tax anyone else because you got married. That same penalty is being applied right now to low-income families and families that have age for dependent children. In other words, if a young woman or young man decides to get married so they can improve themselves, their benefits are either cut off or reduced by 20%. It is the same marriage penalty. We're asking our representatives and elected officials, when they look at reforming welfare, we're asking them to remove the marriage penalty from that bill and allow couples to incrementally have their benefits reduced as their earnings increase.
Are you saying that there is a penalty then on marriage?
Absolutely.
And there's a discouragement on marriage. There was a time in our country, and we chronicle in Runaway Slaves, where the black marriage rate was actually higher than the white marriage rate in this country. That was before 1950, certainly before 1960. Not long ago, before 1965, there were far fewer black men in jail than they are today. Something has happened. Something changed over a 40, 50-year period of time. Most of you may be old enough to remember in our communities when there was, I know you're not old enough to remember, but I remember when just about every man that I knew in my community, I'm over 55, they had a job. They went to work. They may have been yard men or what have you, but they had a job. And I remember when I was in segregated schools, and that black teacher, Brother Tony, Lieutenant, There was one thing I knew about her. She wanted me to succeed. And back in the day, we called it being a credit to the race. She wanted us to be that. And she would say, I'm not playing with you. Because we knew there were consequences if she got angry at us. And we've taken those types of consequences away from the school teacher as far as discipline and being a disciplinarian in that school, an extension of a home. And so when we look at the statistic that we're seeing here being levied upon us, the question that we have to ask is why? Because there has been, and Sister Janine right next to me works with ladies, families, mothers who need husbands for their children, men in their lives. And there is, I am saying this, and I'm challenging you to think about this. Has there been a design on the black family to weaken it? That's the question that we have to answer here today. And if so, why so? And what are we going to do about it? That's the question that has to be answered today. Anybody?
How you folks?
I'm not married, but I am a single mother, and if I understand the question correctly, I don't get any government assistance in raising my child. And as far as I'm concerned, I don't look for it. My goal is not to depend on welfare or any other government assistance. So when I get married, I expect my husband to come in and for us to help each other, not for us to depend on government assistance. And I think not even just in the black community, but sometimes we're too dependent on those government assistance. We're not teaching our younger parents to step up and do what you have to do to take care of your children. And even when it comes to marriage, you're supposed to be a